said, time to start building networks on the web. Hey everybody, Dennis Schrotti, founder of DOYO Live Digital Marketing Interactive Design Conference. This is the hashtag. I was test driving some new technology a minute ago, and this has been interrupted a handful of times. So I've just decided that I'm going to go live directly from the application on Facebook and talk to you a little bit today about a talk that I really like to try and give at DOYO Live this year in a breakout session. And that is the premise of Web 2.0. So when you think about the original .com or .com bust, pre kind of where we're at today with the social media networks, building websites that are monetized, e-commerce, that sort of thing. I'm talking about the early days of AOL. We moved out of that model into something that the world started to call Web 2.0. And Web 2.0 essentially is the premise that you can you build a hub, so the hub of the wheel, right, and spoke model. So picture the spokes coming out. At the center of this hub is your website, your web assets. And as we build mindshare with our content, we then take the distribution avenues, such as social media, Facebook, Twitter, now Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Tumblr, LinkedIn, email marketing, pay-per-click advertising, paid advertising on social, PR strategy, and all these different places. What we do is we go around and we create value by giving away thoughtful education, just like we're trying to do, at least here in our website. And I'm coming to you outside today, a little live feed outside because it's so beautiful. So we've got a few people meandering by in the park and whatnot. Anyway, so as we build up as we build our mind share, typically the blog strategy drove the content, an ebook, case study, white paper. Your job as a marketing person became to go to these different distribution channels, create a link that's trackable, and drive people back to your website, get them to engage with your content, download the content, push them through a landing page, a registration page, a squeeze page, whatever you want to call it. And then as you build your email list, you begin to nurture that. And as you nurture that, then that's where you look for ultimately your conversion. And that is a very strong way to build an internet presence. The problem that I have with that, is that we put all this emphasis upon Google Analytics and effectively looking at our marketing in terms of selling a compelling story through clicks with links. And the more links that we get clicked on, the more that we feel that our marketing is working. And there's obviously a lot of truth to that. If you're generating web traffic and you're also at the same time increasing different statistics from a Google perspective that ultimately, again, are growing your email list, then you know that obviously you're getting some work, you're getting some effectiveness to your marketing. The problem with that in 2017, at least from my perspective, hey Brian, what's up, man? Thanks for dropping by today. Appreciate it. The problem that I have with that type of model in 2017, and I've been one of the biggest culprits of this, is that I've contributed to the ADD of the web. I am basically the culprit of displacing people from where they wanted the content, where they wanted to ingest that content, and I give them a link because I said, yeah, you're here looking at it, but I'm going to give you either a better experience on my web assets, or seductively, selfishly, I'm going to drive you over, and that's how I'm going to delight you on my website and convert you. The problem with that is that I think that as marketing has become an educational piece of thought leadership, tell a compelling story, educate people on what you know, become the thought leader in the space, win fans over. I believe in that. But my problem with it is that if I'm delivering you an experience on the platform, like for instance on Facebook Live right now, why do I want to take you out of that platform and into my ecosystem? Shouldn't I just, at least my mentality is, shouldn't I just let you enjoy the experience of where you're at on Facebook? And if you're on LinkedIn, shouldn't you just be able to read the information that you want to read on LinkedIn and not have to go to 5 different places because a publisher or a marketing person from a brand wants you to click a link, go to that link, read it on there, then you get the pop-up or you get served some sort of information that is a viable download. Here's my thought. Here's where my head has been for the past 9 months, and I don't think that every medium you're going to be able to get away from this. Twitter doesn't really line up for this. I think that you'd have to work a lot harder on Twitter in order to be able to get this type of engagement. Hey, Andrea, thanks for dropping by. Thanks so much. Valley Digital Services, year-long sponsor of DOYO Live, and appreciate all that they're doing for us. So as you look at Twitter, yes, could you deliver video content and let people live there? Absolutely. Any written content, though, you're ultimately going to probably have to link back to your assets. But from a Facebook perspective, what if I reverse engineer the process and I let Facebook serve as the content genesis like a Facebook Live? I transcribe this live, maybe give you some show notes, and I post this in the live feed. You're interacting with the video now, and I don't have to drive you out of Facebook just to come to my website so I can get all happy about the fact that you clicked the link. Yes, when you get to my website, are you going to see other content? Are you going to be interested and engaged? Quite possibly, but here's what I could tell you from my Google statistics that I pay. I'm sorry, I'm getting bit by bugs since I'm outside, so I'm a little bit itchy this evening. What I can tell you from my statistics on Google, I pay a very high attention. I pay a high rate of attention to bounce rate. Bounce rate is defined by basically somebody that comes to your website and does not go to any other page. When I had the strategy on Facebook of utilizing the link, high quality image, if that was working at all, link back even with the video, I have an extremely high bounce rate. It's about 75% of the people that come through mobile on Facebook take a look and then they bail after looking at one page. And it's because of how we look at websites today. If we're in social media, we get interested in that very article. We click, we look at the article. Facebook doesn't even let you leave that ecosystem. And basically you're back in the Facebook. So you don't go any deeper than my website. LinkedIn, there's a lot of content that I could deliver to you on LinkedIn by simply giving you a long form post. I could publish, I can repurpose this video. So for instance, as we take this and we download it and we repurpose it around the web, I don't necessarily need to selfishly put the link in to LinkedIn in order to be able to drive you back to my website. I firmly believe that. Instagram as well. We do get web traffic from putting a link into Instagram. We absolutely do. But that's not the purpose that we're utilizing Instagram for. We're utilizing Instagram to build a community on Instagram, to hopefully give you delightful pictures that tells the story and paints the picture about a marketing conference in Youngstown, Ohio. So now the big criticism that I'm going to get from many of the people that do not believe in this strategy, the first thing that you're going to tell me is, don't build a house on rented space. Joe Pulizzi, founder of Content Marketing World, one of the foremost thought leaders in the content marketing space, preaches this to the point where when I was listening to his podcast over the past week, he has people preaching to him about not building a house on rented space. And I agree with that principle. You cannot put all your eggs into the Facebook basket or the Twitter basket or the Instagram, that's a lot of baskets, by the way. But you can't do that because the reason is that if I put my sole purpose into Facebook, Facebook could do a lot of things to change tomorrow. And we know one thing is for certain. Facebook is very good at changing. Back when I started marketing on Facebook in 2007, it was amazing. I got all the engagement that I wanted. I could write a post, and I could just send something out and people engaged with the content. And then we had to post with a link. And then we had to post with a high-end picture. Now we've got to pretty much go to video, or we got to pay for it. So bear with me for a second. The same thing with Instagram and all social media platforms. Not only are we relying upon the platform, they own the likes. We don't own the likes. I don't own my followers on any one of these platforms. Furthermore, as we know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, they're all going to change the platform, making it more difficult in order for us to be able to get our content organically in front of people. Again, I come back to this and I talk about this a lot. You can see a direct correlation with Facebook stock increasing. And is it this way or this way? Facebook stock goes up and the amount of organic engagement goes down. Hey, Beth, thanks for dropping by. And thanks for posting that picture on Instagram and tagging the trainer. It was so embarrassing. He was out trying to sign autographs over the weekend at the Youngstown Flea. I guess that's when you what happens when you take a guerrilla marketing tactic and you give it to a 5-year-old that's got a picture on the promo. Anyway, thanks for dropping by, everybody, tonight. So we're talking about how I believe that Web 2.0 is dead. That is the premise of utilizing your web as the hub, and then you use the spoke model to point everybody back to your website. So the next biggest statistics that I look at from a Google Analytics perspective are the amount of visits that I get on a monthly basis. I don't pay much attention to new visitors versus returning visitors, and that's just because of the fact that people can clean their browser. It's not, in my opinion, it's just not a very reliable statistic. I do look at, however, how much time people are spending on my website. Another key indicator is how many pages they're looking at as well. And what I have found taking this strategy over the past 9 months, and we're by no means, you're going to see posts from DOYO Live with links in them, absolutely, positively. But I'm trying to get to the point where we're 80-20, we're probably 60-40, maybe 70-30 on a good week or month. But what I have noticed by taking this strategy is that we have had an increase in web traffic, both direct and organic. Hey Sharon, thanks for dropping by. Hey, no worries, Sharon. You got bigger fish to fry than a DOYO Live live show this evening. Congrats again on your baby boy graduating from college. I know how exciting that is. We talked offline about it, and that's great stuff. So getting back to the Web 2.0 strategy that I'm looking to build networks around the web, is that I'm paying very close attention of how deep you're going to go into my website, how much time you're going to spend on it. And my statistics are going up as we have taken this strategy. What's happening is our direct traffic is going up. Organic looks pretty good. Social traffic is increasing, but not dramatically increasing based upon campaigns. But what's happening is people are engaging with our brand, and they're becoming interested in that brand. And instead of the clickbait and hitting the link, they're actually opening up the next tab and typing in DOYO Live and coming to the website. And I believe because of this strategy of not being so focused on the link as opposed to the content on the asset, they're coming to our website. And not only that, we are actually growing our email list in relation to that as well. The other thing that I measure, and it's a little bit more challenging to do, because you could go to your Google Search Console and you could see how many impressions that you deliver on a month-to-month basis. You could also go to your website and your web traffic, and you could say, we've had 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 visits. But in order to be able to talk about reach and impressions in a classical marketing term, impressions, the awareness building game of mindshare, you got to see it, and you've got to recognize you've got the problem, and you've got to recognize that somebody knows, or somebody out there can actually solve your problem. The thing about building networks on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, especially on social media, and then obviously on our blog, in our email list, is that we're willing to go out and work just a little bit harder and capture the amount of impressions and reach that we're delivering across each of those channels. So we're not necessarily concerned as much, and we like web traffic, absolutely a key indicator in terms of people are engaging with your brand. But if I'm getting month over month reach engagement on Facebook, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, I have a good idea and a good sense that strategy is working. I've just become very comfortable with the fact that people are going to engage in that brand now, or my brand. And the last but not least, what I will say about this, we have not totally abandoned the billion space or rented land principle. My ultimate goal is to give you a wonderful experience on Facebook Live, on Instagram, on all of our back channels, if you will, so that you want to take the next step without me providing you the link, but you now want to take the next step to say, I really want to learn more about DOYO Live. And not only when you get to DOYO Live that you subscribe to our email list, then you could get the content that is going to be distributed to our VIP list that's not going to be disseminated in every post out on Facebook, out on LinkedIn, and out on all these other channels. And I think that's a key ingredient as well, is that we're willing to deliver content specific to Instagram, specific to Facebook, specific to our blog. And sometimes you have to live with the fact that you don't want to publish everywhere. Now listen, this is what's worked from my strategic perspective. I've had some people that I have consulted with that we've also deployed this, and I'm finding the fact that I'm very comfortable in building the engagement this way. I would love to hear what your feedback is on the fact that I believe I'm now leaning towards this methodology marketing of building these networks in social media and online to build a community, to build deeper engagement in the long term. Let me know what you think. In the meanwhile, we have a couple of things that are going on that are pretty important. The first date is next week from tomorrow, May 31st. Our early bird tickets are on sale for $150 until May 31st at midnight. That offer expires. Tickets will be going up to $225. We do have a promo code. Use the promo code Facebook to get a 10% discount. Again, grab your DOYO Live ticket for $150. Save yourself some money. Next thing that I'd like to tell you is that on June 8th, we will be at Birdfish Brewery for a guest bartending night. You'll be able to come out, meet a bunch of DOYO Live guest presenters, our sponsors. It's not just for the DOYO Live folks. It's actually for a really good reason. So we are going to be donating all the tips that we get that night back to the Rich Center for Autism. If you don't know it, again, something that I'll post also in the show notes here. The Rich Center for Autism is a foundation that was started a little over 20 years ago. It's a foundation that's very close to my heart. My nephew Christopher, through marriage, is one of the first people to graduate from the Rich Center for Autism, and they've impacted thousands of people's lives in the Mahoning and Trumbull counties. We'll also be auctioning off a homemade growler that are custom made at Birdfish Brewery, and beer actually is going to come in it, as long as you're of legal drinking age. In any case, I would love to see you there next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Wednesdays, the early bird ticket specials expire at midnight. Get your DOYO Live ticket for $150. Use the promo code. On June 8th, meet us out at Birdfish Brewery, Columbia, Ohio, for a great night of networking, chilling, talking marketing, talking beer, and just having a good old time. We've got a number of great guest bartenders that'll be there, and would really love to see you there. Thanks so much, and let me know what you think about building networks